Have you ever felt like a stranger in your own body? You wake up in the morning and your legs feel heavy as lead. Your knees are so stiff that you have to grab the side of the bed just to stand up. A small jar of pickles takes all your strength to open, yet your hands still tremble and fail to get the lid off. The muscles that were once firm and strong have slowly withered away, like scoops of ice cream melting under the summer sun. But this isn't just aging. It's a silent warning. Your body is losing 3 to 8% of its muscle mass every decade after age 60. By 70, many people have lost enough muscle to make a flight of stairs in their own home feel like an unclimbable Mount Everest. And once your muscles weaken and your joints begin to ache, a dangerous spiral begins. Less movement, more muscle loss, more pain, even less movement. In the end, independence, the most precious gift of old age, slips quietly away. I've seen countless patients whose lives were changed by a single fall in the bathroom, ending up confined to a wheelchair for the rest of their days. All because they didn't have enough muscle to catch themselves or the joint flexibility to stay balanced. And yet, society often offers unrealistic solutions. Lifelong painkillers that damage the liver and kidneys, pricey protein powders that cause bloating and discomfort, or intense workouts that aching knees can never keep up with. But here's something few people will tell you. The solution isn't in a pill bottle or a gym membership. It might be right there, in the very cup of tea your grandmother used to sip every afternoon. Something familiar, cheaper than your morning coffee, but scientifically proven to help stop muscle loss, reduce joint inflammation, and even regenerate cartilage. Imagine this. One small habit, a properly brewed cup of the right kind of tea, could reverse years of your body silently withdrawing from its own strength. Sounds hard to believe. I'll show you the science, real-life stories, and actual results from my own patients. And you'll want to stay until the end, because I'm going to reveal 3 specific teas. One that boosts grip strength by 15% in just 8 weeks, another that reduces knee pain by up to 40%, and a third so effective that scientists had to double-check their results because they couldn't believe what they were seeing. After the age of 60, your body no longer operates the way it used to. What makes this truly dangerous is that the process is quiet. Without warning, it creeps in day by day. Each passing year, your muscles silently shrink, your joints quietly cry out, and one day, you suddenly realize you're no longer the person you once were. Think back. 10 or 20 years ago, carrying a few kilograms of groceries was nothing. Now, just lifting a shopping basket can leave you short of breath. Climbing stairs feels like overcoming an obstacle course. Your legs tremble, your heart races. The reason? Sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. On average, a person loses about 3 to 8% of their muscle mass per decade after 60, and that rate accelerates even more in their 70s and 80s. But it's not just muscle you're losing. You're also losing a key companion, joint flexibility. As cartilage wears away, the cushion between your bones thins out, and every step feels like 2 rocks grinding together. You hear the creaking, you feel the dull ache, and eventually, a small misstep or a minor trip could result in a fracture. A fall that might seem trivial can, for older adults, become a turning point that leads to life in a wheelchair. What's frightening is that this cycle feeds itself. Muscle loss makes movement harder, you move less, muscles waste away even faster. Joint pain makes you afraid to move, you rest, more joints stiffen, muscles weaken. It's a one-way road, and without timely intervention, every passing month takes you further from independence. Modern medicine can offer you painkillers, joint injections, even artificial joint replacements. But no drug can replace your own real muscle. No supplement can keep you in control if your body continues to lose the very foundation of its strength every day. The good news is, science also tells us this process can be reversed. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need a complicated diet. Sometimes, all it takes is starting with something incredibly simple, a small habit you can begin tomorrow morning. 1. Green tea, a shield for muscles and joints. You've probably heard 1,000 times that green tea is good for your health, right? But I bet you've never heard the full truth hidden behind those delicate leaves. Green tea isn't just something to help you feel alert in the morning. It contains a special compound called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, and EGCG is the secret weapon that helps your muscles resist the wear and tear of aging. Imagine your muscles as a house. After 60, daily inflammatory storms begin to sweep through. Inflammatory agents, like TNF-alpha and interleukin-6, act like wrecking balls, smashing away at the bricks of your muscle tissue. You could eat all the protein in the world, but if those wrecking balls aren't stopped, your house still falls apart. This is where green tea steps in. EGCG in green tea acts like a defense team standing guard in front of your muscle walls, blocking those inflammatory wrecking balls. It not only helps preserve what you still have, but also creates conditions for new muscle to be built. One study at Tufts University tracked people over 60 who drank 3 cups of green tea per day. After 12 weeks, not only did they stop losing muscle, but they actually gained an average of 0.7 kilograms, about 1.5 pounds, of lean muscle, while the group that didn't drink green tea continued to lose muscle mass. When it comes to joints, the effect is even more fascinating. Inside your joints are enzymes that break down cartilage, called MMPs. Normally, your body keeps them in check, but with age, MMP levels rise, like hundreds of termites silently eating away at the cushion between your bones. Catechins in green tea can tie up these termites, slowing down cartilage breakdown and even stimulating your joint cells to produce new cartilage, something modern medicine once thought impossible in adults. I remember one of my patients, Martha, age 67, from Vermont. When she came to me, she thought she had no hope left. She couldn't lift her grandchild or even hold her favorite cast iron pan. Her daughter was already considering moving her into assisted living, afraid she could no longer care for herself. I gave her one simple piece of advice. Drink 3 cups of green tea a day, 1 after breakfast, 1 at lunch, and 1 in the early afternoon. At first, Martha called it some hippie nonsense, but she gave it a try. 2 months later, she called me, overjoyed. She had just run around the yard carrying her grandchild without help. 6 months later, her grip strength had improved by nearly 20%. She sent me a video, laughing loudly, holding both her grandkids in her arms, something she hadn't dreamed of doing for the past decade. But the way you brew it matters. Many people brew green tea the wrong way. They pour boiling water directly onto the leaves and end up with a bitter cup that loses most of its beneficial compounds. The ideal temperature is around 70 to 80 degrees Celsius, 160 to 175 degrees Fahrenheit, which means letting boiling water cool for about 5 minutes. Steep it for just 3 minutes, long enough for the EGCG to dissolve, but not long enough to release too many tannins that cause bitterness and stomach irritation. And if you want to triple your EGCG intake, try matcha, a powder made from whole ground tea leaves, not just brewed water. When consumed regularly and correctly, green tea is not just a refreshing drink. It becomes a biological shield for your muscles and joints, helping protect you from the downward spiral of muscle loss, weakness, and the loss of independence that aging often brings. 2. Turmeric-ginger tea, the repair crew for joints and muscles. If green tea is like a protective shield, then turmeric-ginger tea is like a repair crew, working around the clock to mend the damage inside your body, especially in your knees, hips, and shoulders, the areas that people over 60 tend to complain about the most. The star ingredient here is curcumin, the golden compound found in turmeric. But what makes curcumin unique is that it doesn't just put out the fire like aspirin. It works deeper, down to the genetic level. It actually reprograms your immune system, helping your body produce fewer inflammatory chemicals right from the start. This isn't just symptom relief, it targets the root cause of aging. A study from the University of California found that after just 8 weeks of drinking turmeric tea, people over 60 with chronic knee arthritis reported up to 40% reduction in pain and over 30% improvement in mobility. What amazed researchers even more were the MRI results, which showed that synovial fluid, your joint's natural lubricant, had improved in both quantity and quality. In other words, their joints were smoother and better cushioned than before. Let me tell you about my mother. When she was 72, doctors recommended a knee replacement. She could barely walk more than a few dozen feet, each step bringing tears of pain. I knew I couldn't stop the surgery, but I suggested one thing. Try turmeric-ginger tea, the very remedy people in India and Okinawa have used for centuries for longevity and joint flexibility. She was skeptical but agreed to give it a try. 2 months later, she called me, elated. For the first time in years, she had walked around the neighborhood without her cane. The surgery was canceled. It's been 3 years now. She still shops for groceries on her own and calls me every week to tell me about a new walking path she's discovered. The magic of turmeric ginger tea lies in how it's prepared. Curcumin is notoriously hard to absorb. If you simply stir turmeric powder into hot water, your body absorbs less than 5%. But when paired with healthy fats and a pinch of black pepper, absorption increases by up to 2,000%. That's why the traditional golden milk is so powerful. A cup of coconut milk or whole milk, a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, some ginger and cinnamon, gently heated, then finished with a spoonful of honey. It's warm, comforting, and a natural remedy in one. Drinking it in the morning can help you start the day with less pain. But the most important cup is the one you drink at night, about an hour before bed. That's when your body begins its healing work, and curcumin acts as the master foreman, coordinating the repair of muscles and joints. Many of my patients have told me that after a few weeks, they sleep more deeply and wake up with less stiffness in their knees and more ease in their bodies. One note of caution. If you're taking blood thinners or daily aspirin, speak with your doctor before regularly consuming turmeric. The combination may thin the blood more than is safe. But if there are no contraindications, turmeric ginger tea is truly one of the safest, most effective natural remedies I've ever seen for people over 60. And if green tea is your shield and turmeric ginger tea is your repair crew, then you're still missing one thing: a supply truck. Something to ensure your muscles and joints are getting enough oxygen and nutrients to stay strong. That's the role of the third tea. 3. Hibiscus tea, the supply truck that feeds your muscles and joints. Do you know why so many people over 60 still have muscles that look firm, but are too weak to open a simple jar? The problem isn't just in the muscle. It's in the blood flow to the muscle. Picture your body as a neighborhood. Muscles and joints are like houses, and blood vessels are the roads delivering food, oxygen, and repair materials to each home. But as we age, those roads narrow, stiffen, and slow down. As a result, even if your muscles are still there, they're being starved, unable to perform at full strength. This is where hibiscus tea, also known as roselle or sour tea, comes in. The deep ruby red brew is rich in anthocyanins, a group of compounds that act like road workers, softening the blood vessel walls and improving blood flow. A study from Tufts University found that after just 6 weeks of drinking 3 cups of hibiscus tea daily, people over 60 experienced up to 35% improvement in peripheral circulation, meaning more blood reached their hands, feet, and muscle fibers. What does this mean for you? It means your muscles will be properly nourished. No more having muscle but not being able to use it. It means your knees and hips will receive more nutrients to repair themselves, instead of staying stiff like rusty hinges. It means those nighttime muscle cramps that used to wake you in pain will ease up because hibiscus also supplies potassium and magnesium, 2 essential minerals that keep your muscles contracting and relaxing smoothly. I once met James, a 69-year-old retired carpenter. His hands had once been strong, sawing wood for hours without fatigue. But age had reduced his grip strength to a dangerous low, under 40 pounds, too weak for a man. He couldn't even open a jam jar and had to ask his wife for help. After drinking 2 to 3 cups of hibiscus tea a day for 3 months, his grip strength jumped to 65 pounds. Not only was he back in his woodshop, but he proudly told me the swollen knuckles from arthritis were starting to shrink. It wasn't magic, it was better circulation, flushing out inflammatory waste from his joints. Hibiscus tea also comes with a bonus side effect. It naturally helps lower blood pressure. But here's a word of caution. If you're already on blood pressure medication, monitor your levels carefully, as the combination might lower it too much. Also, in the first few days, you might notice you're urinating more often. That's your body flushing out excess salt and fluid. Don't worry. It usually stabilizes within a week or 2, and you'll start to feel lighter on your feet. Preparing hibiscus tea is simple. Use 1 tablespoon of dried hibiscus flowers per cup of boiling water. Steep for 5 to 7 minutes. It has a tart flavor, like cranberries, and you can add a little honey if needed. In summer, try making a cold pitcher to keep in the fridge, refreshing, hydrating, and nourishing for your joints and muscles all day long. If green tea is your shield, and turmeric ginger tea is your repair crew, then hibiscus is the supply truck your body can't do without. Without proper blood flow, muscles can't grow strong, and joints can't heal. That's why combining these 3 teas forms a complete system, helping you reverse the spiral of muscle loss and joint pain. Daily tea schedule. When to drink each of the 3 teas. Many of my patients ask, "Doctor, which tea should I choose? Do I need to drink all 3? And when is the best time?" Here's my answer. Each tea has its own role, and when combined, they form a complete system to support your body. Think of it like renovating an old house. Green tea is your security system, protecting the house from further damage. Turmeric-ginger tea is your repair crew, patching cracks and replacing worn-out bricks. And hibiscus tea is the delivery truck, bringing in fresh materials and oxygen where they're needed. If you only use one of these, you'll see temporary results. But when all 3 work together, your muscles and joints get a real chance to recover and thrive. Here's the daily tea schedule I often recommend to patients over 60. Morning, about 30 minutes after breakfast. Start your day with a cup of green tea. This is when EGCG works best, especially when paired with protein from your breakfast to help prevent muscle loss. You'll feel more alert, lighter on your feet, and ready to take on the day. Mid-morning, around 10 to 11 a.m. Have a cup of hibiscus tea. This is when energy typically dips. Hibiscus boosts blood circulation, bringing more oxygen and nutrients to your hands and feet, helping you avoid fatigue from even simple tasks. After lunch, drink another cup of green tea to maintain that protective shield over your muscles throughout the day. If you often feel drowsy after lunch, this cup will help keep you alert, without the stomach irritation or jitters that coffee might cause. Mid-afternoon, around 3 to 4 p.m. Enjoy a second cup of hibiscus tea. This is when many people over 60 start to feel heavy legs, ankle swelling, or muscle cramps. Hibiscus improves circulation and helps reduce these symptoms. Evening, about 1 hour before bed. Treat yourself to a warm cup of turmeric-ginger tea. This isn't just a tea, it's a nightly ritual of self-care. As you sip it, curcumin quietly puts out the inflammatory fires in your joints and muscles, allowing your body to repair itself more deeply during sleep. By morning, you'll wake up with less stiffness and stronger steps. Now, I know some people will say, 5 cups of tea a day? That's too much. I'll never remember it all. But remember, consistency matters more than perfection. If 5 feels like too many, start with just 3. Green tea in the morning. Hibiscus in the afternoon. Turmeric ginger at night. As your body adapts, you can gradually build up to the full schedule for optimal results. What's most important is making this a part of your daily rhythm, like brushing your teeth or washing your face. Don't see it as a luxury. It's the key to staying strong, walking independently, and living without relying on others. Ignore it, and the downward spiral of muscle loss and joint pain will keep stealing days from your life. But start today with just 1 cup of tea, and you're giving your body a chance to turn back the clock. Real stories and scientific proof. I've always believed that dry medical knowledge isn't enough to inspire real change. What truly moves us are the stories of real people. And these 3 teas, green tea, turmeric ginger tea, and hibiscus tea, have helped countless individuals over 60 reclaim strength and independence they thought were gone for good. Remember Martha, 67, from Vermont. She couldn't lift her grandchild, couldn't pick up her beloved cast iron pan, and her daughter was already making plans for assisted living. But after just 3 months of drinking 3 cups of green tea a day, her grip strength improved by 20%. She was out in the yard again, laughing as she held her grandchild in her arms. That wasn't just a health improvement, it was reclaiming a piece of her life. Then there's my mother, 72. A knee replacement surgery had already been scheduled. She could barely walk a few dozen meters, every step filled with pain. But 2 months of faithfully drinking turmeric ginger tea changed everything. She called me in tears, not from pain, but from joy. For the first time in years, she had walked around her neighborhood without a cane. 3 years later, she still shops on her own, still cooks her meals, and that surgery was never needed. Sometimes, a warm cup of tea each night holds more power than a surgeon's scalpel. And I'll never forget James, 69, a retired carpenter. His once strong hands had become shaky and weak, with grip strength dropping to just 40 pounds, far too little for a man his age. He felt defeated, unable to even open a jar of jam. But after 3 months of drinking hibiscus tea daily, His grip strength rose to 65 pounds. He returned to his woodworking passion, and even the swollen arthritic bumps on his knuckles began to shrink. When he smiled, I saw a light in his eyes, the pride of a man who'd regained what he thought was lost. These aren't just anecdotes. Science backs them up. A study from Tufts University showed that older adults who drank green tea daily gained an average of 0.7 kilograms, 1.5 pounds, of lean muscle in just 12 weeks, while those who didn't continued to lose muscle. A California clinical trial found that turmeric tea reduced knee pain by up to 40%, and MRI scans even showed improved joint fluid, something once thought impossible in aging adults. With hibiscus, researchers observed a 35% improvement in peripheral circulation and a 20% increase in walking speed. And we know that just a 0.1 meter/second boost in walking speed can reduce elderly mortality risk by up to 12%. These numbers are not to be ignored. They remind us that your health hasn't left you. It's simply waiting for you to give it the right tools to heal. And sometimes, those tools aren't found in expensive medicine bottles, but right there in the cup sitting on your kitchen table. Common mistakes that make your tea ineffective. After hearing my advice, many people rush out to buy green tea, turmeric, and hibiscus to start their tea routine. But just a few weeks later, they come back saying, "Doctor, I don't feel any different." When I ask about how they've been drinking the teas, the problem becomes clear. They're doing it wrong. Mistake number 1. Using boiling water for green tea. Many think the hotter the water, the more nutrients get extracted. But in reality, boiling water destroys EGCG, the most valuable compound in green tea. The result? A bitter cup that's harsh on the stomach and nearly stripped of benefits. The correct method: let the water cool to 160 to 175 degrees Fahrenheit, 70 to 80 degrees Celsius, before steeping. Brew for no more than 3 minutes. Mistake number 2. Drinking turmeric in plain hot water. A lot of people simply stir turmeric powder into hot water and believe they're drinking a miracle cure. But curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric, is poorly absorbed without fat and black pepper. Without them, 95% of it passes through your system and used. The correct method: make golden milk. Use full-fat milk or coconut milk for fat. Add a pinch of black pepper, turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon. Simmer gently and sweeten with honey. This combo dramatically boosts absorption. Mistake number 3. Drinking hibiscus tea right before bed. Some people drink hibiscus at night and complain it disrupts their sleep because they wake up needing to pee. The truth is, hibiscus has a mild diuretic effect in the beginning, helping flush out excess salt and water. The correct timing: drink hibiscus mid-morning and mid-afternoon. This enhances circulation without disturbing your sleep. Mistake number 4. Choosing decaf green tea out of fear of insomnia. Many opt for decaffeinated green tea, thinking it's safer at night. What they don't know is that decaffeination also removes up to half of the EGCG, cutting the benefits significantly. Better strategy: drink green tea in the morning and early afternoon. After 4 p.m., switch to hibiscus or turmeric-ginger tea, both caffeine-free and sleep-friendly. These small mistakes might seem harmless, but they can drastically reduce the powerful effects these teas offer. That's why I always emphasize, to see real results, you must do it right. And when you do, your body will begin to respond clearly, within just a few weeks. You'll rise in the morning feeling lighter on your feet. Your grip will feel stronger, and your joint pain will begin to ease. Because in the end, it's not just about drinking tea. It's about giving your body the right tools, in the right way, to heal.